Hi everyone, I'm going to take myself through one of the, a new AI scenario that's going to be available to download after you've seen this video. And I'm going to take you through how an AI scenario works. So, just doing setup at the moment. So the introduction is, after the guys decide to pack the stash inside the metal carcass of a red rocket set piece, here we go. We started the slow climb to the abandoned diner, where we'd catch a breath before moving on. As we waddled across the muddy hillside and across the junkyard, we saw smoke coming from the diner. Super Mutants, they're here! The biggest of them held up a massive sledgehammer, his sight fixed on the red rocket, probably thinking we're carrying a powerful weapon. Whether he thinks it's a weapon or not, we gotta get our stash home. Raise your weapons. Right, so we're playing this on a 2x2. Normally it's a 3x3, but this just gives us a quick, small scenario. Of course, if you want a longer game, you'd play it on a bigger board. So we've got the survivors versus the super mutants. I'm going to show you the forces we have got today. So against the survivors, we've got the brute. We've got a couple of super mutants. Then we've got the mutant hounds with their bite. Now on my side I've got Nora, sole survivor, who's a heroic with a baseball bat and a hunting rifle. And she's a brawler, that's her special ability in this one, which is going to make her a little bit better in melee. We have got good old Dogmeat with his trusty dog bite. Good thing about Dogmeat is he is heroic if he starts close to Nora, so I've got to remember that. We've got the enslaved tech, and then we've got a couple of settlers with laser rifles. So let's get this show on the road. So it says place terrain as your preference on the board. We've got the diner in place, and we need to place the AI markers at exactly orange from the base of the diner. What we do have to do is mix up the AI markers. These have actually got numbers on the reverse, which refer to the numbers of the super mutants. So let's take our first one, which is orange here. And we have two out front. Okay. Now we start blue. We can start at a triangle that is delineated by this. So effectively it's behind this line of cover. So I would say I'm going to get in Nora in cover here, with Dogmeat, ready to jump across. We're going to, so let's have our guys there with the red rocket. And I think the enslaved tech is going to be next to them. Okay. Okay, we've got all the counters ready. Plenty of wound counters. I have a feeling we're going to need them. So I'm set up. So you can see Nora and Dogmeat behind some cover. And we've got the two survivors ready to push the red rocket, and the enslaved tech ready to give covering fire. With his combat shotgun, he's probably going to run forward. Now, we are going to do the reveal of the AI tokens. So let's see which they are. This one is number 2, which is Super Mutant. This one is number 4. So that's a mutant hound, ready to pounce. Let's have a look on the opposite side. We had one here. This is number 3, which is our other super mutant. And by cunning deduction, we've got 2 left at the front, which is 1 and 5. Number 1 is the brute, leaving the final dog. Okay, so we've set up the super mutants. We're going to use the tokens to randomize which one goes first, but we use the tokens from the cards next to them, so we know which one is going next. And first of all, we're going to see who goes first, because we've got equal sides, so we need to randomize it. I'm going to use one of our nice bottle caps. So we're going to just spin this. Oh, it's the super mutants going first. Right, so let's draw the first token. We've got a 4, so that is the first mutant hound. Now, if we've got to look at the AI card, you can see that the AI card is based, the activity, we look at the top line. So mutant hounds based on how strong they are. They're currently at full strength, so we're using the first line. And we are rolling a dice. We're using the blue dice. 2 cola bottles. So 2 cola bottles cross-referenced with A means attack. Now we do have the reference cards which are easy to read. You'll soon get to grip with this. Attack basically means he wants to do close combat to start. Well, he's not in close combat, so he wants to charge into engagement. Can he? Let's look. The super mutant has a normal movement of red, charge of blue. So could he charge into engagement? No, he can't. So the next one down is, can he move into engagement? He certainly can't. So can he move to within charge distance from an enemy? We can always pre-measure. So let's look. If the hound moves to here, is he within charge distance? Yes, except this terrain is difficult terrain, so it reduces the movement stick down 1 level. And now who is he going to charge? Now obviously these 2 are closest, but Dogmeat is marginally closer, so he's going to go for him using the green. We can see that he can easily get that. So the mutant hound is jumping over the difficult terrain to attack. Now, something I should bring up on the AI card is you do have grey shadowed actions, and that show the brute has white and grey. What that actually means is grey means they're reckless. They will move as quickly as possible without using terrain. If they use white area, it means they are not being reckless and they will use cover en route. They're being careful. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Who's next? It's the survivors. The super mutant's gone. What am I going to do? Now, Dogmeat's already in melee. I'm going to risk, I think I want to take a shot at the other creature that's probably a bigger risk, which is the super mutant hound. So, I am going to activate the soul survivors. First we do a ready token. So, because, of course, I could activate more, but no sense hanging around. I'm going to activate soul survivor. Now, first of all, you've got to remember to roll your VATS dice, because the heroic dice, which is going to tell me whether she gets any extra action. So I've rolled a cola bottle, which means she gets an extra quick action. I could take a quick pot shot now. I could use it for a move, but I've got my main 2 actions. I think what I'm going to do is use my first normal action to take a shot at this hound. So let's check this. The hunting rifle has a range of blue for short range and blue and black for long range. So it's definitely outside short range, it's in long range. So that means we're rolling 2 green dice and the skill dice. She needs, to show you the Soul Survivor, she's using a ranged combat which is 7 or less. Now that's a hit. She's rolled an extra action, so I now have 2 extra actions for this turn, and this also counts as a 1. So she's definitely hit with armor penetration and an extra point of damage. Now, just to remember, each weapon has a basic fixed damage, so she does 2 damage with the hunting rifle. That means it's now 3 damage with 1 armor penetration. The Super Mutant Hound, let's just look at him. He's only got 1 point of physical armor, so we've basically negated his armor. He's got 5 wounds, and we have just done a total of 3 to him. So we're going to put down... And because she's heroic, she gets crits. So I get to put a crit token on her hunting rifle. If I can get 2 more, then she'll be able to use her crit attack. She's going to use her second main action to attack again. I want to try and take this Mutant Hound out. Same again. Now I got a 1 which and the bonus quick action, but I've already got 2. I can't get a third, so it doesn't help me, but I've still hit. Now I've also got good accuracy. If I'd rolled higher, I've got a -3 to my attack. I don't need it because I've already got a 1. I can't get any less than that. So I just do the base damage of 2 points, which is enough. No, wait, because the Hound does have armor. I didn't do armor penetration this turn. So the Hound is going to roll its armor dice. It, just as a little reminder, it's got 1 point of physical armor. So it needs a 1 on this dice. No! It failed. And Nora's shot bites home, doing 2 more points of damage to the Super Mutant, which is enough to kill it. Strike 1 for the brave survivors of Sanctuary Hills. Now, the downside of that is the Super Mutants are going to go first next turn because they've got less figures, but it's a good thing. So what is Nora going to do with her 2 spare actions? She's used her 2 main actions. Now, I can only do each type of action once. Now, if you look, she's not actually in melee. The Super Mutant Hound is in melee with Dogmeat. So I'm going to use one of the quick actions to basically move into melee with the dog joining in. And the second quick action she's going to use to attack. So effectively I was able to charge into melee there, which is good. So I am going to take that extra black dice in charge bonus. And what have she got? Now, remember, she's got a baseball bat and she's a brawler. So she's a dirty fighter, which means she gets an extra yellow dice she gets for the brawling. She also gets a yellow and a black for the baseball bat, which does 1 point of damage if we hit. Now, remember, we've got that extra black dice from the charge. So we've got an extra black dice too. This could be painful for the Super Mutant Hound. But remember, this is a quick action, so it's -2, so it's not quite as good. Oh, we've got to roll the skill dice. That would help. I rolled a 5. Now, my Soul Survivor's skill is 5 with the strength. So she's hit. Now look at this. So you roll a cola bottle with the baseball bat, which is pretty lethal. Cola bottle gives you 2 armor penetration. Don't think I'm going to need all of this, but it's pretty good. So it's gone through that 1 point of physical armor of the Super Mutant Hound. So he's got no armor. However, I have done a total of 4 bonus damage on this with the base 1 point of damage from the baseball bat. So she just smashed the floor with the Super Mutant Hound, which took 5 points damage. That is a painful opening round for the Super Mutants. So, yeah, fantastic. That was a great way to do it. Of course, she did a hit. So she scores a crit for her baseball bat, which only needs 2. Now, back to the Super Mutants, who are enraged by seeing their favourite pet hounds, Huey and Dewey, bite the dust. So, who are we going to activate? Let's pick a token. Number 3. Number 3 is Dave, the Super Mutant over here, who, having seen his pet hounds bite the dust, what does he do? What does he do indeed? We are looking at the Super Mutant AI card, and we're going to roll a purple dice to see what he does. He is at full strength. 2 cola bottles. Now, when you roll 1 or 2, you'll see that actually there's 2 symbols at the end. If you roll 1 cola bottle, you are using melee attack. If you use 2 cola bottles, you're using ranged attack. So he wants to do a ranged attack, and but we got a 0, which is the objective. So the objective is that red rocket. So he is single-mindedly going after that, no matter that his pet dog, his pet hound, bit the dust so cruelly. He doesn't care because he's enraged enough. He sees the red of the red rocket and he's driven to destroy it. So, what happens? So let's look at the objective priorities. Of course, everything's on the cards. Very easy. So, if the objective is to destroy it, it means perform A with subject as the only target to be considered. So, the red rocket is the target. He is basically trying to attack, and we know he's attacking with ranged. So we are looking at the ranged attack part of the card. Basically, shoot. Can you see it from here? Let's just double check. So basically, I would say that the attack is passing over a piece of terrain, which is the barrels in this case. So that is going to cause a -2 to his attack. So now he's going to shoot twice. Now the Super Mutant has a bolt action pipe rifle. So we are looking at green and blue range. Let's just make sure he actually is in range. Maybe he's not. He's not. So what does that mean he does? He moves so an enemy could be shot with the next activity. So he would do his normal movement of yellow. And I would probably argue that he would move so that he gets a clear shot. Which will help him. And now he takes the shot, which, just to recap, is green and blue. He's still not in short range, but he's definitely in long range, which means he's rolling a black dice with the skill dice. So he's used 1 action, he gets 1 shot. Will it count? It's an 8. Now, sadly, Dave, the Super Mutant, does not have what it takes for the firing skill. He's only got a 4 in range combat, so he missed. The survivors breathe a sigh of relief as the bullet ricochets off a nearby daffodil. What are we going to do? So Nora has gone Dogmeat. Is probably. I think I'm going to move Dogmeat with Nora next turn, just so I can make sure he starts. Maybe Maybe we do move Dogmeat. Let's look at what Dogmeat can do. He can move red as a basic movement, which is going to be dropped to yellow if he wants to leap over. You can just imagine it from the game, can't you? He basically leaps over everything. So if he did yellow, and then he would be able to do a blue charge. Maybe he wants to take on this dude. So he would, yes, definitely be able to take him on. He starts heroic as he is next to Nora. Let's do it, because that's exactly what Dogmeat would do in the game, even if you didn't want him to. So Dogmeat howls. Ow! Does his first movement, sees the filthy super mutant and decides to charge in. But that's the end of his turn. Now, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do his VATS, because he starts next to Nora. So let's just do that and see if it makes any difference. Oh, a cola bottle. So, a cola bottle means... as I said, it's because Nora is a dog handler, that nearby dogs at the start of the activation are also heroic. So he started with an extra action, which means he's going to use that for the melee. And he's going to be at -2 because it's a quick action. And but I could use the extra action, but I think I want to do extra damage because the super mutants are tough. So, what is Dogmeat doing? He is a yellow, green and a blue for his attack. He's getting the extra black dice for damage. He's going to do a base 2 points of damage, and there are some abilities which will come to if he rolls those. Let's see what happens. Come on, Dogmeat, you can do this. Oh! It's a 9. Now, Dogmeat did start heroic, so he is also lucky. Now, I could use a luck token to reduce that 9 by 2 points, but as you can see, Dogmeat's strength is 5, so I could get it down to a roll of a 9 down to a 7. Doesn't help, and of course remember... Oh no, wait, sorry, we've got a minus. I'm not reading the dice. So we have got a -4, so it actually is a 5. But, because it's quick action, we've got a -2 to his ability, so he's actually a 3. Let's risk it. Let's throw things to the fates. Let's just remember we've got a armor penetration, and we've got 2 Nuka-Cola bottles. So we are going to check the... No. Failed. Sadly, it's not Dogmeat's day, but they had a good start, so let's not worry about it. Okay. They're in combat. Who is next? It's the Super Mutants. Number 5. Number 5. Coming number 5 is actually the dead dog. Dead dog. So he's gone. Let's draw another one. Number 2. Number 2 is the other Super Mutant, Eric. Eric's had a bad day. He's seen his favourite dog die, so what is he going to do? A nuclear explosion. So, actually the nuclear explosion for the Super Mutant is attack. He doesn't care about any red rocket, he's going after his target. So what is his target on the Super Mutant? The first target is wounded, there is no wounded. Second target is weakest. So who on the enemy side has the lowest health? That is going to be the enslaved tech. He sees the weak-willed dude that escaped from the Super Mutants several weeks ago, and he's vowed to take him out. Right. Order is to attack, so let's see if he's in range. He's green and blue for the bolt action rifle. That is just in range, right at the edge. So, we're going to have -2 for the cover, and the Super Mutant has his bolt action rifle. It's at long range, so he gets a black dice and white dice. That's it. and he is going to do 2 attacks. So now remember, because of the cover, his skill is -2, so he needs a 4. His range skill is 4, so he needs a 2 or less. Well, that's still a hit. Remember, this is a 1. Now, because he's not heroic, he can't make use of the action point, but he has hit. He's done 2 points of damage to the enslaved tech, who has an armor of 1. So let's see if the tech can dodge the bullet. No, the enslaved tech takes 2 points of damage. He's taking the shot again. That is also a number 1. That is a hit. As you can see, it's the crit symbol. If I was heroic, I would get another crit symbol, but he's not. Still a hit, and he's done a bonus point of damage. He has done a total of 3 points of damage with that, because of that bonus. And so let's see if the enslaved tech can save himself. No, he rolled a 2, he needed a 1. 3 points of damage on top of the 2. The tech bites the dust. It's a sad day. Will it count though? He's only been free for a couple of weeks. Nora rescued him from the Super Mutants. That's it. That's how life is like in the Wasteland, though. Got to just take the day while you can, enjoy it. Eat those infested biscuits, because you never know, a Super Mutant might take you down. Right, the poor survivors, what are they going to do? Now, we've got to remember our objective. Got to move that red rocket, so I'm going to do that now. We're going to use one of the settlers. Let's activate settler number 1. And they are going to make their strength roll to move the rocket. Let's just recap on the rules. That a successful strength test can push the red rocket yellow towards the opposite edge. With his first action, or her first action. No, failed. Put too much stuff in that rocket. Idiots. And again. Failed again. What is it? Oh no. Yeah, no, they failed. He's been eating too many rat-infested biscuits. That's why. So, they're struggling. Okay, so who's next? It's the remaining Super Mutant Brute, the worst of them all. So he goes next. We will activate him. What does he do? So, Super Mutant Brute, we're going to roll his dice. He gets a cola bottle, which means he's at full strength, he is going after the objective, but with a melee attack. So, what does that mean? If it is melee attack, his first thing is to do close combat. He can't. Next one is charge into engagement. Can he charge into engagement? I would very much doubt it. It's a similar situation to the Hound, actually. So we are then going to move to within charge distance from the enemy. Or move to within move distance from the enemy. So his move is yellow. And now can he charge? I believe he can, yes. So he is doing this for his whole turn. And that is his whole turn. What is he going to do? He is going to definitely go for armour. The last settler is to go. He's got a laser rifle, and he is behind the cover of the red rockets, but because he's adjacent to it, it doesn't act as a intervening terrain. So he is going to shoot, and his range skill is 6. Now let's look at what he's got. He is at short range, so he's going to be doing purple and black, and he's going to do 2 energy damage. So he's basically going to use take both shots, because if this guy gets in that damage, he's probably going to take out the rocket. 10? What have you been doing all this time? Not been practicing on the range, as Nate told you to. God's sake. Right, so that is complete failure. So, rolls go. A 7. You're fired. Right, okay, so that was a complete failure. And that is the end of the turn. So, you then collect up the activated tokens. Nora gives a very hard stare to the completely useless settlers. No wonder they all die. So it's the beginning of the turn. We're going to do an event card first. Diamond City Radio. The soft music of Diamond City Radio playing from somewhere in the rubble fades out and the announcer can be heard. Okay, so I guess at this point it's safe to say the Brotherhood of Steel is going to be sticking around. You probably noticed that giant airship, Travis. Now, some of them are story, some of them actually cause particular game effects to happen. So we'll see more of those as time goes on. Okay, now, who's got the least figures? It is definitely the Super Mutants, so they're going again first. So we randomise the tokens, they're down to the 3. Question is, will it be the Super Mutant Brute? Because that's going to be bad news. Right. Number 3. It's a Super Mutant in combat with Dogmeat. So what does he do? Remember, we roll the dice. Really quick and easy. 1 cola bottle. 1 cola bottle on the Super Mutant means he is going after the objective recklessly with a melee attack. He's in combat with Dogmeat. So what that means is he leaves the combat, which means Dogmeat gets a free attack, a free Nash. So the Super Mutant has yellow movement. So as he moves, Dogmeat makes a free attack. Let's do that. So we need the skill dice, we need the yellow, green and blue dice of Dogmeat. Come on, Dogmeat. Hang on to him. A 5. That's a hit with extra damage. A star gives him an extra action, but not during a reaction. But he does have armor penetration. So, he's done an extra point of damage. He's done armor penetration on a Super Mutant. The Super Mutant only has 1 point, so we don't need to roll for damage. Sorry, we don't need to roll for armor. The dog bite does 2 points of damage plus 1. 3 points of damage on the Super Mutant, but he gets away. Dogmeat can't hang on to him. Don't worry, he's coming. Okay, so the Super Mutant does his normal movement of yellow. Now, can he charge? Charge is green. No, so he has to do another normal movement towards the objective. No hanging around here. These guys know what they want. Don't get distracted. Right. Okay, so. Right, so I'm just thinking, Soul Survivor, if she starts close enough to Dogmeat, Dogmeat can be heroic for the turn, which I definitely want to happen, but that means the Dogmeat needs to be within blue, which he isn't, so I'd need to move Nora out and do something. So it's definitely on the plan. Now, Nora can't get to the Brute. Well, she could, but it wouldn't really do much this turn. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate Soul Survivor. I think, yeah, let's just do it. Right, so let's remember, let's roll her effect dice. So she's got an extra action. Now, an extra action, a quick action, is only a short movement, and if I can't use it to move over the terrain because it can't be reduced anymore. So I would have to use a normal action to get her across, which is what I'm going to do. So normal action reduced gets her across here. So she leaps across the terrain, and now she can then use her quick action to get into charge melee with the Super Mutant, so she's going to take a black bonus dice, and she's then going to use her remaining normal action to attack. So she gets black and a yellow, an extra black for the charge, and brawling, yeah, she gets an extra yellow dice. Come on. Oh, yes, a critical. So she's hit. That actually, she actually got 2 crits there, but it's she only needs 2 to charge up. So her next melee attack is going to be a crit. So she's hit with armor penetration. So the Super Mutant gets no armor defense and an extra point of damage, which does a total of 2 points of damage. There's 3 already on the Super Mutant. Ooh, he's skimming close to the edge. He's got 1 point left. That is the survivor's turn. Now let's draw the next Super Mutant. Number 2, which is the other Super Mutant. Right, what does he do? So let's go, quickly roll the dice. 2 cola bottles on a Super Mutant means that he is going after the objective carelessly, and he wants to ranged attack. So he's doing exactly what he did last turn. He's basically making 2 ranged attacks at long distance. This is very easy. He has got a bolt action pipe rifles. He's got 1 black dice and he's rolling twice. No intervening terrain. Oh, got extra damage, but he missed. And again. Again, can't use the crits, but it's still a 1. It's a hit with extra damage. And he did 3 points of damage. Now remember, the first damage on the red rocket. The red rocket has 10 hit points and an armor value of 1 for all damage types. So let's roll to see if the red rocket took that damage. Oh, it saved 1. So it has taken 2 points damage. Not good, guys. Down to 8. Right. Survivors, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's go with the settler first. So first settler shoots with his laser rifle. Same thing again. He's got purple and black at close range. 2 shots. You can do this. Wow, finally, his training that he never went to, he's somehow convinced us that he can shoot, has paid off. He's got a cola bottle, which with a laser rifle, if I had 2 cola bottles, I would have set him on fire, which would be hilarious. But I got 1. So 1 damage point ignores armor. Now the brute has 2 energy armor. Remember, this is a laser rifle that does 2 points of damage. So 1 point is going through, regardless. He has got 2. So we roll his armor. He absorbed 1, so 1 point definitely went through. Slightly wounded. Okay, now let's roll again. It's his second attack. $10. Completely pointless. He's just pretending to be able to shoot. Okay, so mark him as gone. Let's not forget these guys have gone as well. Just as a reminder. Okay, back to the Super Mutants, and you can guess it's the good old brute. Now, what is he doing? Because we never know. Every turn it might change. He has got a cola bottle. He is going after the objective. He's at still at main strength. And he is going to smash the hell out of that thing. So he has got the sledgehammer, which is 2 yellow. Remember, he's got the bonus black dice for his first charge. So he's getting 2 yellow and a black. And he gets an extra black dice for being 5 or more strength. 7 or more strength. Double checking there. It was good to check. So, let's see what he does. It's a hit, and he got a crit. So let's say he got a crit bonus. Let's put that down on there. And he hit, so he also got a crit. And he got 2 cola bottles, which doesn't do anything. Oh, you know what we did? We forgot to roll his VATs. So we're just going to do that before I tot up. Right, he did get an extra short action. Okay. So, cola bottles don't do anything with this attack. -1 doesn't help. Actually, we're relatively lucky as survivors. So he is doing 2 points of damage. That's it. To the red rocket. That's only his first attack, guys. But I forgot that the red rocket gets armor. So did it get a 1? Yes, it did. Okay, so it didn't actually take 2. It took a 1. Not quite as bad. Right, but that's only his first action, and he's got an extra short action. He is attacking again. That's a hit. With armor penetration, so there's no armor roll, he is doing 3 points of damage. And that is another crit. That's, okay, 3 points of damage. That is painful, painful. So the Super Mutant Brute has still got a quick action left, but he's charged up his crit, so he doesn't need to roll to hit, he just rolls for damage. It's a bad day. So we have the 2 dice for the sledgehammer, we have the black dice for being strong, we have the purple dice for the crit power, and he's doing a minimum of 3 points of damage. Let's see what happens. Is this the end of the line? So, he did an extra point of damage, that's 4 points of damage with armor penetration. Cola bottle does stun. You can't stun a big metal rocket, I don't think. So we have 4 points of damage. I think this might be the end of the line. It is 6, 10. The red rocket crumbles. And Nora shouts over to the survivors, "You useless bags of radiated biscuits. I'm never bringing you again on a day trip. Get back to the firing range and learn how to bloody shoot." So this gives you an idea of basically how the AI system works. It's really quick. As I mentioned, you've got the reference cards that really quickly take you through priorities. The AI cards for each unit, they all act differently depending on their current situation. For Super Mutants, it's typically health. For other characters like Brotherhood of Scribes, might be how many friends are nearby. The system flows fast. That's actually quite a quick game. I mean, obviously, if we were playing on a 3x3 board, more forces, there can be more narrative flow going on. And as you can see, it's very straightforward once you get to know just the sort of procedure going through each turn. You'll find that the AI does unusual things, you know, like I would have expected the Super Mutant here to attack Dogmeat, but he went after the objective, which actually, if I was a player, is what I would have done. So, yeah, I'm really happy how we've got a lot more kind of unusual interaction between the game and the player coming through here. I will definitely be getting rid of the settlers. They will not be on my side again. Hope you've enjoyed that, and we're going to be doing more playthroughs like this to give you a better idea. There's obviously more. You haven't seen half the events that were lined up. You haven't seen the search and other kind of narrative sides of the game, which we're going to be looking at. But this is just a quick insight into how gameplay works with AI. I hope you enjoyed that, and see you again.